Hey guys, it's Kristen O'Brien at Keller Williams Advantage Realty and State College. And this Friday for our FAQ Friday, I figured we'd do a live video because there are a lot of exciting things happening right now in the market. So I was thinking about this video and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a really quick, low-down rundown of what's going on with interest rates. And then I realized we have a lender that sits in our building. So this is Barry Peters, and I went down to his office and said, hey, you need to come to my office for like 5 minutes and talk about mortgage rates. So thank you for coming down the whole way down the hallway.
Thank you very much for having me, Kristen.
All right, so I want to talk to you a little bit about like the market in general, because I know a lot of people talk about they follow the Fed and they're always paying attention to the Fed's voting rates up and down. But like really, how does the market work and how does it impact our interest rates?
Okay. Well, mortgage interest rates are usually affected by the economic reports that are coming out. And when the expectations are set at a certain level, if the expectations are not met, that is usually not so good for the stock market and better for the bond market, which keeps our rates low.
Okay, so good bond market means good interest rates?
Yes, correct.
Okay. What other factors will affect our rates?
Well, everything, of course, that's going on with the global economy, the scare of the virus that's out is also affecting the stock market in a negative manner and positively affecting mortgage bonds. So mortgage bonds, money's flowing in, keeping those rates down.
Good. See, and I don't think a lot of people know that. So I feel like that was one thing that I had to learn, obviously, coming into this world, that what you need to pay attention to, because it's not always what they're talking about.
Right. Well, and the recent Fed drop had actually the opposite impact, because when the Fed drops rates, sometimes that's seen as a positive thing, and people then start pushing money back into the stock market, which takes money away from the bond market, and our rates actually either go up or stabilize. So the misconception by the consumer sometimes is there that when the Fed drops the rates, oh, my mortgage rate must have gotten better. No, that's not the exact opposite. Well, a lot of times it does have the opposite effect, yes. Yeah. And very recently, a couple of days ago, it did.
Good. Yeah, you were telling me you had some scares of the up and down.
Oh, yes.
Every hour watching rates go
shifting
different directions.
Yes. Within an hour, I saw up, down, level, and down again. Yeah. So
this is why you need a lender, because they watch this stuff. Okay. So that is, I don't want to get in the weeds because I love that stuff, but we won't go any farther. So just on a basic level again, how do rates and affordability interact with each other? Like when rates go up or down, like how does that affect affordability we'll just use for purchasing a home?
Well, if I use an example of a $250,000 loan and I say, let's say 2 weeks ago, the rate was around 4% versus today being more like 3.375. And I'm focusing more on 30-year fixed at the moment.
Yeah.
But with that differential being 5/8% on a $250,000 loan, you're saving about $90 a month. So people say, well, it certainly can be when people are analyzing their budget, their affordability, and do they qualify. So you think about people who were at a certain threshold of buying power, maybe their buying power is now increased by another $30,000 or $40,000 because of that rate drop.
Yeah, and that could be a big thing because we have some people that they want to be under, $1,500 a month, so that difference in interest rate could now put them in a more expensive home, basically, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
See, this is why we do Fridays, for good information. So, okay, now we know affordability, a little bit about the market. So what are rates doing today?
Right now, what we're seeing in terms of a 30-year fix, you're seeing rates right around 3.375 with decent credit. We also have some first-time homebuyer programs that now is in the upper twos on a 30-year fixed.
And this is why I'm doing this video, people, live. Did you hear that? First-time homebuyers under 3% interest rate. So talk a little bit about that.
I locked two people in yesterday at 2.875 30-year fixed. One was combined with FHA, the other was USDA.
Wow.
And unfortunately for me today, those rates dropped to 2.75 just about 15 minutes before we started this video. So, we were trying to give buyers great deals. Sometimes we lock in and the market still shifts to their advantage, but we can't do much about that when that happens. I don't know that this trend will continue for long, but we're hoping that it at least stays down long enough to get some more people in the market.
Yeah, well, I'm refinancing, so that's what I'm going to do when this video is over, is make some calls, because I mean, I bought my house, I don't know, 5 years ago, and I think we have like a 4 something.
I'm in the fours as well.
4.25, 4.5, I don't know, which that was still historically low, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, with rates this low, that's insane.
Yes.
What about some of the other loans? I mean, I know you were talking about the first-time home buyer program. We talked about the 30-year fixed. What are like the government loans without your first-time home buyer program? Like, where are those loans at?
Those loans are also in the low threes.
Low threes.
Absolutely. Low threes, very similar to conventional.
I know, and I know we were talking a little bit before the video, is the 15-year is like down at 2.6 also, which is why I'm thinking I'm going to go refinance today. Because, I mean, I can save a ton on interest because I'm in a 30-year right now, but I feel like I can save a ton on interest if I go to a 15 and my payment won't change.
Awesome.
So that's insane. Anything else about the first-time homebuyer program or anything else that you want to share? I mean, obviously, I think at the rates today, I mean, we have a chart up on the TV you guys can't see, but like historical interest rates average from like the 70s till last year were 6.4% interest rate. So that's been the historical average. And we are sitting here talking about threes.
Upper twos and low threes.
And lower threes. So is there anything else you want to share or put a plug in? Or?
I would just like to add that for people who are thinking about purchasing, we are giving a big priority to those purchase loans. And anybody that's refinancing is going to be locked out for a longer period of time, but we're going to try to do our best to honor all the contracts and the timeframes of those purchase contracts so that those people are not, I'll say, being put on hold because of all the refinance volume.
Got it. That makes sense. And I just talked to somebody, now that you're saying this out loud, that said it took like 3 months for their paperwork to go through on their refinance.
I believe that.
And that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, but the purchases, we are attempting to do our best to honor all the contract timeframes as quickly as possible.
So you're saying these rates are making you very busy?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right. Well, I hope you guys found that informative. Like I said, I think the big takeaway here is we have the lowest interest rates right now, I think, in the last 4 years. And with everything going on in the economy and with this coronavirus, I hate to say that, you know, but with all those things happening right now, if you haven't refinanced or you haven't purchased, get your butt moving. Now is the time. So that's all I have. Thank you again, Barry.
Thank you, Kristen.
And we'll see you next Friday.